The 2023 season has been a mixed one for Irish tourism.
Demand has been good, particularly from North America. Aer Lingus has restored all its transatlantic capacity, so that's a really encouraging market. It's such an important market for Irish tourism. Europe is a little mixed, and GB is soft. We think sort of Brexit impacted the economy there.
I think 2023 coming out of recovery, we'd have probably bitten anyone's hand off if we'd known this was the way 23 was going to turn out.
It's been a strong summer. We had the biggest capacity in Aer Lingus's history on the North Atlantic this year, 2.25 million seats, and we saw strong demand from North America, and it's fair to say I think the North American traveller and tourist has returned this year.
I think definitely we're seeing the Germans are being prudent with the cost of living and rising prices. We also are about 20% down in plane capacity from Germany. While we maintained most of the routes, they're just not as frequent as they would have been previously, and that's a real priority for us going into summer 24.
But I think Irish tourism has seen a kind of a strong rebound, albeit there are challenges. The costs of business are particularly difficult for enterprises right around the country. Insurance, labour, energy, they're all soaring. It puts profitability under question.
Every business in the tourism product is experiencing huge costs and challenges in their cost lines, and it's something that, you know, we're monitoring quite closely, but it's hugely important that as a country we get that under control.
Yes, the Ukrainian crisis unfortunately is going to be with us for some time to come, and the impact therefore on Irish tourism is going to be around for longer than anybody might have anticipated originally. Government do need to address this. They need to address it robustly and appropriately.
The decision to increase the VAT rate at the end of August was certainly disappointing for the Irish tourism industry. It's the wrong decision by government. It's inflationary. It puts pressure on business just at the time that we're heading into our sort of autumn-winter period.
1 in 5 rooms for tourism use are no longer available to the industry, and that is putting a huge pressure in satisfying the demand from the international market.
So Budget 2024 needs to deliver both in terms of competitiveness and also investment. We need pro-tourism policies to make sure that this sector continues to thrive and continues to recover.
Well, fortunately, Aer Lingus is part of a group, IAG, which is a leader in terms of its commitment to sustainability. It was the first international airline group to commit to net zero by 2050, and the rest of the industry has followed. They've also committed to powering 10% of our flights using sustainable aviation fuel by 2030. Now, that's in excess of the European Refuel EU mandate, so the commitment is very real.
Tourism can be a force for good, provided we play our part in addressing all 3 pillars of sustainability that include environmental, economic and social.
And the whole objective here is to kickstart the tourism economy to help support those local communities that previous to this relied on peat harvesting and peat burning for their economic well-being.
I think the Just Transition funding of €68 million that Ireland secured at the end of last year, and which Fáilte Ireland will invest in the Midlands, is going to be transformative for the region.
It is a total game changer. And what do I mean by that? I guess that we want and expect and hope that tourists will come, they will stay longer, they will see more of the region, and of course, hopefully, economically, they will contribute a lot more.
This is an opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really renew, think differently about what we do and how we do it, and deliver a real, natural tourism product to our customers.
There's an incredibly tight deadline with Just Transition funding. All of the money needs to be spent, and that means everything built required by the end of 2026.
The challenges are really multifaceted, and we shouldn't, I think, underestimate them.
When we did the Hidden Heartlands original business case and brand, we always said that this area is going to need significant capital investment.
I think we do have a hotel deficit in the region. I think that's something we should be aware of. We want to make sure that the Midlands becomes a touring region rather than just a transit region. So we do need places to stay.
We need people to be staying 1, 2, 3 nights at least. 5 nights preferably, or even 7 nights. But that lack of accommodation is definitely an inhibited factor in terms of the overall tourism development of the region.
Actually, I think the Ireland's hidden heartlands, with the benefit of all this investment, will encourage people not just to pass through, but to slow down, take a breath, and really spend time enjoying everything that the region has to offer.
This is about impact, and this is about making a real difference to those communities. And that means decisions will have to be made. That means that if we try and spread this jam too thin, if we try and give a couple of €1,000 to every parish in the area, we will not achieve that impact. We will not grow jobs. We will not support communities. We will need to identify the big ideas and back the big ideas. And that will mean some tough choices that we'll have to make as we go through this.
And visitor attractions, I believe, provide a foundation or a hook for the longer dwell time and the greater spend. Much, much better benefit to the economy as a whole. And I suppose I sum it up often in a much used phrase, Ní neart go cur le chéile. We are all stronger together. And I think that's the power of this funding.